And now, welcome to the final episode of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. So let's just get going and fly to the pillars. And see what's going on over there. In the grand finale. So let's just look at this quite pretty animation. Even though it doesn't do much with the lands to the geography of Nosgoth. But it looks nice. And also the fact that pillars themselves are not that kind of endlessly high as they should be. Although the actual height was not shown in this animation, but they were supposed to be something that infinitely reached to the sky height. But here I am at the circle pillars. 3 remain. But they would be... Oh, well, let's just get going.
You betrayed us, Mortanius. You had Kain killed and turned him into a monster. You set him upon us.
It had to be. Naprapta's insanity poisoned all of our minds. The Circle had failed in its sworn duties. It had to be destroyed.
Failed our duties? Idiot! The Circle exists for us. We don't exist for it. Our powers will save or damn Nosgoth at our whim. Stand with us, Mortanius, or die.
Then I shall die.
If the Circle is to be destroyed, you have to die as well, Necromancer. I admire your cunning, but you will not escape your fate.
Nay, I will embrace it, but my death will leave one more to take, Princeling. Finish me!
Well, another battle against... Well, Mortanius took care of one boss fight, and there was an interesting little, you could say, mistake in continuity, as in, well, Mortanius blew a big hole through Anacross' body, and yet when he threw into the pillar, the robe and all that was intact, and also there was 4 broken pillars at the circle, not 3 as it's in here. So I guess that they made the animations were made before they actually got completely finalized how the story will go. But going to pick up fight against Mortanius. Well, he seems to be quite good at that summon minions part, but doesn't do anything. But stand there and get chopped apart. So he took damage, but where is he now? Where did he go? Did he go somewhere? Or is it just a case of having to blow up his final zombie slave servant? Oh, there he is. Put on the repel again and prepare to blast out some magic attacks. Well, there he is again. He died.
You thought yourself a king, when in fact you were a pawn. You have served me well, Kain.
I serve no one.
Indeed, such narrow vision. Don't you see? My silencing of area and its calculated repercussions is but the first act in my theater of wrong in your... You are the tragic hero. Play on, little vampire. Play on.
Fay Victus!
And that is the final boss of the game. The unspoken that Ariel had mentioned. And that's all it does. It just stands there, appearing out of nowhere, still doing quite big chunk of damage. And he does have quite nice smooth animation. So let's just blast out the repel and tank the damage he could do. And in later games, what that thing would be or is would become expanded. But now it's just a big ugly demon. Would just, final boss can't be just one phase, especially in this game. And eating more snacks. Using the flame sword does quite well the amount of damage. Yeah. This boss can do a lot of damage, but as it doesn't basically do anything but this quite easily avoided teleportation attack. It really is kind of disappointing as final boss. Nothing interesting. I'd say that Malek, as much as bosses of this game go, was the best. But now I blew it up. And now I get a chance to save for the final ending. But I'm not gonna do that. Because I wanna see that does the story actually happen without picking up the artifacts.
I am the last pillar, the only survivor of the Circle of Nine. At my whim, the world will be healed or damned. At my whim.
Apparently, you don't even need to pick up those final items, which is to say Anacroth's scales and Mortanius' death orb. And later sequels would make it so that the evil ending in which Kain decides to just kick over the pillars and take over the Nosgoth as vampire god emperor with all kinds of mass murders, resistances and all that kind of things would be the canon story and would fit with the character as well, of him hating this kind of being manipulated and expected to just get himself killed at the end of this kind of big quest. And it would be completely in character for the Kain. And later games would also reveal that ending was the long-term smart one, because if Kain would actually decide to not take that path, it would just... There would be a caveat by the later introduced big enemies that basically both options for the Kain would be bad, although the bad ending of Kain becoming vampire overlord would be the long-term better choice. But at this phase of the writing, there really was no such thing. So I might be doing something as you could say that Kain has already seen what kind of plague vampires are, and he himself is part of the plague. So he would decide that let's go for the non-canon good ending of Kain being not himself and just choosing the, you could say, greater good for the humanity than his own personal whim.
In his life, he was unknown, a petty noble. In death, he was unknown. Yet by choosing oblivion, he restored balance to the land. Shades cast no shadows.
Yeah, I caused that death. But let's just make use of the rewind function and check the canon ending as well. And with magic of rewinding, let's check the more in-character canon ending. Long-term proved to be better ending when the writers would start to investigate more on Kain's more heroic qualities.
Once I embraced my powers, I realized that Vorador was correct. We are gods. Dark gods. And it is our duty to thin the herd.
Oh yeah, that is what the game's official sequel says, that Kain did the choice. And well, they did it. Both of these endings are kind of, you could say, lackluster in the sense that how it would end. But it still works quite nicely, especially once they would later show the much more long-thinking, scheming, intelligent parts of the Kain. And it's a real shame that the Legacy of Kain Defiance never got a complete ending, sequel to, which would most likely be a good, complete through ending, because, well, later games would also establish the matter of destiny. And Kain basically has destiny of dying and to restore the pillar of balance, so it's basically just managed to do a lot of postponement to it, and also managed to break quite many other scheming characters' destinies, maybe even the whole destiny thing in Nosgoth. But it's a real kind of annoying thing. Maybe it would be something that Kain would have to go a location where he would actually choose to now fill his destiny instead of just fighting against it. But Legacy of Kain, it's a nice cult game. So let's just see the actors. Simon Templeman, great. Tony J, always great. Paul Lukather, good. Richard Doyle, good. Anna Gunn later would be in Breaking Bad. Something like 6 actors in total, but they didn't cast those who did that side those little extra characters. Maybe they all did. Maybe some of the Crystal Dynamics or Silicon Knights employees did it. But no matter. A nice little game to end with a good music. Nothing else. Good music, decent gameplay, much more better writing and acting than try to make a really good game with great gameplay and fun.